Picture a little golden ball, crisp and browned on the outside. Someone bites into it, and the middle is almost liquid. Soft, creamy, steaming, and barely holding together. Your first thought is simple. This looks undercooked. And in a way, it is. But that molten center is not a mistake at all. It is the entire point of the dish. This is takoyaki, and it is one of Japan's most beloved street foods. You will find it at festivals, on busy corners, and in tiny stalls all over Osaka. It is fast, cheap, and irresistible. A tray of 8 or so costs almost nothing, and vanishes in a minute. It is the perfect thing to eat while wandering a festival. By the end of this video, you will understand why the inside is left soft on purpose. And why that makes it so good. There is real cleverness hiding in this little ball. So let's decode it. First, the name. Takoyaki breaks into tako, meaning octopus, and yaki, meaning grilled or cooked. So at its heart, it is a grilled ball of batter with a piece of octopus inside. It comes from Osaka, Japan's great street food city. Osaka even calls itself the nation's kitchen. Takoyaki is one of its proudest inventions. But the octopus is not really the secret. The magic of takoyaki is all about texture and technique. A crisp, thin shell on the outside, and a soft, almost molten center within. Anyone can make a ball of batter, but making one that shatters outside and flows inside is the hard part. And quickly, before we go deeper, thank you for actually watching this, instead of just scrolling past it. Stick around, because the way these balls are made is genuinely mesmerizing to watch. So let's start with the batter. And here is the first surprise. It is not a sweet, cakey batter. It is thin, runny, and deeply savory. That is because it is made with dashi, the Japanese stock we have decoded before. Dashi is packed with umami. That is the same savory backbone behind miso soup and ramen broth. Here it lives inside the batter itself. So even a plain takoyaki, with no sauce at all, already tastes deeply of the sea. The dashi does that quietly. The batter is thin on purpose. A thin, dashi-rich batter is what allows that soft, custardy center to form. Into that batter go a few classic extras. Little crunchy bits of fried tempura batter called tenkasu. Some pickled red ginger, and plenty of chopped green onion. Each one adds a tiny burst of texture or sharpness. And of course, a piece of octopus in the middle. Tender, slightly chewy, a satisfying bite at the core. The name promises octopus, but honestly it is a small part of the whole. It is the anchor, not the star. Some stalls even swap in cheese, shrimp, or other fillings. The batter and the technique are what really define the dish. Now to the tool that makes it all possible. The special takoyaki pan. It is a heavy iron plate covered in round, half-sphere molds. Each little dome is where one ball is born. The pan gets extremely hot, and the molds are brushed with oil. That high heat is essential. It sets the shell fast, before the inside can firm up. Then the cook pours the thin batter in, and here is the fun part. They deliberately overfill it. The batter floods over the top and connects all the molds into one messy sheet. That overflow is not a mistake. It is the raw material for the flip that comes next. Think of it as extra dough waiting to be folded in. Quick note before the second half. I have full, separate breakdowns of the dashi in the batter and the seaweed on top. You will find them at the end of this video and linked in the description. So if one grabs you, you can head straight there. Now for the part everyone remembers. The flip. Using a thin metal pick, the cook goes to each mold and turns the batter. They cut the overflow, and rotate each ball by 90 degrees. As they turn it, the loose, still liquid batter folds down into the mold. It wraps around and slowly builds a sphere. Every turn adds another thin layer to the outside. The ball literally grows itself, one rotation at a time. It is a bit like rolling a snowball, but with hot batter and a metal pick. Layer by layer, the sphere takes shape. They do this again and again, spinning each ball a little more each time. Bit by bit, a round, sealed shell forms. It looks almost like a magic trick. A sheet of messy batter becomes a tray of perfect little globes. There is something deeply satisfying about it. Chaos on the pan, order in your hand. And it takes real skill and rhythm. A good cook keeps a dozen or more balls turning at once, never missing a beat. The pick flies from mold to mold in a steady rhythm. It looks effortless, but the timing is everything. Turn too early and the ball collapses. Turn too late and the shell sticks and tears. But here is the crucial part. While the outside crisps against the hot iron, the inside barely cooks at all. The ball spends only a few minutes on the pan. Heat simply cannot reach the middle fast enough in that short time. The shell browns and firms up fast, but the thick center stays soft and molten. And the cook pulls them off before it ever sets. And that is completely intentional. If you cooked it all the way through, it would turn dense and dull. The whole joy of takoyaki is that contrast. A crisp, browned shell giving way to a hot, creamy, savory center. It is almost like a savory version of a molten lava cake. Crisp outside, flowing inside, by design. That single contrast is what your mouth is really chasing. The crunch, and then the sudden warm rush. Two textures in one bite, only seconds apart. Your brain reads that little surprise as pure pleasure. There is a real fair warning that comes with this, though. Fresh takoyaki is dangerously hot in the middle. That molten center holds heat like a trap. Bite in too fast, and it will absolutely burn your mouth. Locals know to let it cool for a moment, or to bite carefully and breathe. Everyone gets caught once, and then learns to respect the little ball. Once it is off the pan, the ball gets dressed. And these toppings will look very familiar. First, takoyaki sauce. Thick, dark, sweet, and tangy. Then a drizzle of Japanese mayonnaise. Then a shower of aonori, dried green seaweed powder, and finally bonito flakes. And those flakes do their famous dance. The heat rising off the hot ball catches the feather-light flakes and makes them wave and curl. It is a tiny bit of theater, powered by nothing but heat. If all of that sounds familiar, it should. It is the exact same topping family as okonomiyaki, Osaka's other great creation. That shared sauce and those shared flakes are like an Osaka signature. Once you spot them, you see them all over the city. But here's what most people miss. The genius of takoyaki is not the octopus at all. It is the deliberate contrast, built on purpose. A crisp shell wrapped around a center that is left unfinished. Most cooking chases one perfect, even texture all the way through. Takoyaki does the opposite, and celebrates the difference. That molten middle is not a shortcut or a flaw. It is the whole reason the dish is so much fun to eat. And there is a second layer of genius, in the making itself. The flip turns cooking into a live performance. You stand at the stall and watch the cook spin dozens of balls into being. Half the fun is the anticipation, watching your food come to life. So takoyaki is really Osaka in a single bite. Playful, social, a little messy, and endlessly satisfying. It is street food that refuses to take itself too seriously. And that is exactly why people love it. It takes a humble ball of batter and octopus, and turns it into an experience. That is a very Osaka idea, taking something cheap and simple and making it pure joy. So here is your takeaway. Takoyaki is not undercooked by accident. It is engineered around a crisp shell and a soft, molten heart. The octopus is lovely, but the real magic is that contrast, and the flip that creates it. Now I would genuinely love to know, Have you tried takoyaki, and did you survive that first molten bite? Tell me in the comments below. And here is the one moment I will actually ask. If this made you crave a fresh tray, leave a like, it really helps the channel grow. And subscribe if you want more of Japanese Food Decoded, one dish at a time. To go deeper right now, the video on the left breaks down okonomiyaki, Osaka's other icon with the very same toppings. And on the right, you can decode miso, another pillar of Japanese flavor. See you in the next one.